Welcome everybody back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
This is One Piece episodes 25 and 26. Let's see what happens this time. If you want to support us, you can leave a like and leave a comment, or you can check out another video on the channel that lets the YouTube know that you really love our channel and it recommends us to more people, etc., etc. You can also, if you want to get ahead on reactions here for One Piece, you can check out our Patreon, linked in the description, patreon.com/BOLDcast. You get 2 weeks ahead on unedited, uncut timer reactions, 2 weeks ahead on those, or 1 week ahead on edited reactions. Check that out, link in the description. Let's check out these episodes of One Piece. Let's go! Okay, what are you gonna do now? What's your plan? What's the big plan?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if we're gonna get the full backstory of this episode.
I keep forgetting that we haven't gotten it yet,
Yeah.
honestly.
He's just such an asshole. I guess that's like a really normal thing for pirates to do, though, to be fair. That's like the classic maneuver for pirates.
Wow.
Get out of my sight.
What do you mean? Are you still afraid of someone like that?
Everyone's like, no, I guess not, now that you say
I mean,
that.
even if it is.
What?
They're...
What?
I feel like he didn't. I feel like he's just a badass. That's kind of crazy.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I like that boat.
Oh, that was the fucking...
Yeah,
in the title of the episode. I wonder if he'll give them the logbook when they leave.
Maybe.
Or if there's
Or he'll
anything
say you
even
can
in
just
it.
figure it out for yourself.
Oh yeah, maybe. That's probably more likely. Whoa. Oh. That makes a lot of sense. Why you would start a restaurant in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
And it makes more sense in this because it's just a restaurant. Like, it's not like, it's less of a hub of pirate, of like seafaring activity, which they made it kind of like that in the live action. But in this, it's just a restaurant.
They should just sail away. Like, these guys don't have a boat.
Sail. Watch carefully how he fights and admire his skill. He never lets anything past him. An incredible martial artist, that Luffy.
Like extending the boat.
Dun dun dun. Dun dun.
Whoa. That's cool.
Into just a big platform.
Mm-hmm.
It's for
I guess
outdoor
it's kinda
dining.
Like in the live action, how they had like more of like a place on the outside of the boat.
Yeah.
存分に戦ってやろうじゃねえか。店内を傷つけねえための戦場か。もらい受ける俺たちにとっても好都合だ。ますます欲しくなったぞ。てめえらに渡すか、この店を。そうだ、なめんじゃねえ。
Whoa!
I'm beginning to think this whole like restaurant thing is sort of like a money laundering scheme for your pirate escapades. It's like the mob.
That's cool.
They're really just Yakuza or like some Italian mob situation.
You better watch out. I like that, and I love how it detaches from the main boat too.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Stop telling lies.
What?
I didn't think he was actually. Oh my god. You're gonna kick it out of the way?
What? What?
Man, I can't believe they didn't include this in the live action.
Yeah, right? God, they're so cheap. Saving their fucking budget. Love how Zeff's just like, yep. That's what I taught
exactly
him.
what I trained him for.
Yep, this exact scenario.
See, now if you didn't bring those up, those side bits, then your boat would be completely fine. What?
Are you guys really doing this?
Yeah, come on, Luffy, you just need to take out Don Krieg, and I feel like these guys won't keep attacking.
Okay, we get it. It's just everybody back and forth like, don't underestimate us. Don't underestimate me. I'm one of these things. Oh, well, I'm one of these. Exactly. What the hell? What is he cooking?
Look how mad he looks. No, I'll beat the shit out of them if they can't pay. See this giant gun? I'll shoot them with it.
That.
He can't even leave. He can't leave this restaurant. Yeah.
Really?
Damn.
What is this?
No.
Oh, it's his like special goon now.
It's this JoJo character looking
Yeah.
guy.
What the hell is he doing? He really does look like a JoJo character.
Where did this guy come from? He looks freaky.
Pearl son? Classic One Piece. Let's just insert a random goon in the mix just to extend this battle. Like, there needs to be a mid-powered goon just to fill out the conflict. We've already established the power ceiling and the power of all the middling fighters that are just gonna like fight it out in the background. And now we just need a middle guy who's not gonna last more than one encounter.
It's just fast. I'm your cook. I'm a chef.
These are not calling him a waiter. That's why he always keeps his hands in his pockets. There's a reason. It's to protect his hands.
That's cool. I like that. Oh. This is gonna just hit him.
Oh no.
He's
You
gonna
made
get
the guy
so mad now.
who's like overly concerned with his beauty because he's a pearl man.
Oh, he's gonna be so scared now? Or what?
It's gonna be like a Zenitsu style thing.
It's like one of those like monkeys with the symbols.
What the hell?
Is he on fire? It says who? Who?
What is he doing? When he just like lets go of his hand, is it supposed to be so strong that he's just like flicking?
Can someone knock him in the water? Shit.
God damn it! Hit the eject button. It's gonna smash him in the face. Oh no.
He's got shields.
Is the ultimate defense. He's on fire with fire shields. What a
Just, like, light a
refined
cigarette
guy.
on him. I don't know who's calling him invincible. Like that one guy. I know, but like he seems like he's not really.
Why
that
else do you think
invincible.
the guys are there other than to call the middle manager over here invincible? Like nobody can ever touch him. All right, Zeff.
Come on.
You put out the fire. What a badass.
He doesn't even have his foot anymore. He's still so strong. It just hits the pearl guy again.
Is it gonna create a bridge? Oh, it's just gonna crush him? That's pretty gruesome.
I love how invincible this guy is.
What? But nothing can hurt Pearl-san! He just got fucking crushed by, like... In the end.
That seems to be the case for, like, everyone in this show, not gonna lie.
In the end, He was worth nothing and only wasted everyone's time.
戦いは終わりだ
Gin!
Come on!
You piece of shit!
撃て赤足のゼフを
You're gonna do that after he fed you? After this restaurant kept you alive?
Is now Zeff gonna drop his backstory, and then that's what's gonna push him over the edge to stop him? What a loser.
What'd you think of this episode?
There just always needs to be, like, I'm not saying but when I say filler, I'm not saying actually filler. Obviously, I'm not saying, oh, this is an imagined thing. I'm saying these characters just keep popping up. These are the meow meow twins or whatever the fuck they were called. They only exist to fill out. I mean, he set the place on fire, so there's that. But like, they could have just set it on fire.
Or it could have just not been on fire because I feel like it's not even really that much of a problem that it's on fire.
It's just funny. It's just funny how it's gonna be a constant thing in the show where like, okay, we're in this. We can't just have a fight. It needs to be a battle,
like
and in between the battle, once we establish the powerful boss character's abilities, the abilities of the main character, the abilities of like the arc specific characters who within the power scaling and how they all kind of stack up to each other, and give everybody sort of a task like Sanji's gonna beat this guy up, Sanji's has this job, Luffy has this job doing all over here. Oh wait, it's gonna be over too quick. Let's introduce just a fucking idiot in between that we don't respect as a villain, but all the minor little soldiers have to hype up like nobody's ever deflected his fucking ability before. No one's ever surpassed him. And then he just gets they always get completely taken out by the dumbest, smallest thing.
But my
it's just like the most normal attack.
Is there like, he's never even been scratched in battle before, and then he gets a nosebleed and everyone is immediately like, oh no, not this again.
Oh, they made him mad.
That's supposedly never happened before. I do like it. I do think it's funny. I mean, it's silly, but it is funny. As long as you're not like hoping for a super epic fight out of these guys. And yeah, I do like it, but I also love the Don Krieg's line of like, oh, I better just do it myself. And it's like, yeah, that seems to be the case. Like, it was the same for Kuro. Like, he got there and was like, I didn't need you guys. You're all so bad. And I also love how they don't bring out like this guy till like after the pawns, like the nobody dudes have been beaten like 3 times. Like they get like blasted down the hill or blasted into the water. Buggy's pirates get blasted away. And then they like come back and then they get like blasted away again. Yeah. And then like the big bad guy shows up and is like there. And then the nobody comes in. This guy comes in.
Yeah.
Makes his stand, and then he goes down, and then the big bad guy's like, okay, now I need to come in.
Yeah.
After everyone has been defeated like so many times.
It's like they bring out this like mech fish head thing, and it's completely useless. And it's just meant to like reestablish how powerful Krieg is.
Yeah.
And then and it's just, that's the whole thing. And then we get a little flash of the backstory. Then they get reinvigorated, but there's a whole like 4 minutes in the middle where it's just the soldier guys on each side are just like, don't underestimate me. And it's just like, okay, we won't. I promise I won't underestimate
cooks? You. Yes, we are. Oh no, we've never fought anyone other than cooks before.
And they're just like, fighting cooks, huh? You're just a couple of cooks. It's just like, here's a little bit of our backstory. We came here because we were fighters and we were cooks and we got hired to do both. And then they're just like, oh shit, that changes things. I thought they were fighting cooks, but it turns out they're fighting cooks. I shouldn't underestimate, It's just so dumb.
And then the backstory of Patty and the other dude. How they like show up and they're in like their like young outfits.
Well, in their young outfits, it's funny because Patty especially is like he's supposed to be like a Yakuza type. He's supposed to be like he seems like he's supposed to be like an ex-Yakuza dude, and now that we see him, he's got like the dyed hair, and he had the tattoos before, which obviously in Japan, like anybody with tattoos is like a fucking criminal, apparently, and he just has that vibe, and he's like obviously a sushi chef with this thing. He's got like much more of a the Japanese sweatband rope thing that he's got. Anyway, just a little thing there, but it's just funny how they just cannot stop themselves from hyping themselves up, but it changes literally nothing. Cause what's the point of that for the audience? Like for the 10-year-old watching, they're just like, oh, so fighting cooks, is that like a thing? Like this 10-year-old who's like watching One Piece episode a week.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what if you missed the last one? Then you need to get reminded, first of all, that they're fighting cooks.
Yeah.
Second of all, that like Zeff is the owner. Third of all, Sanji uses his feet. Fourth of all, these are the villains. Then you have your villain of the week guy.
Like, they're not just pirates, they're Don Krieg pirates. So they're not just pirates, they're pirates. They're just pirates. They're the same as any other pirate. But okay, the thing is, it's not just the point of it. I think that what makes it funny is that it's not like them being like they're hyped up to like the reason that they're saying that is like it. Again, it all goes back to like the power scaling and like that, the Don Krieg pirate armada was supposed to be like this crazy like force of nature in this part of the world. So like they're supposed to be like a step above normal stormtrooper pirates, but they're really not. But you got to hype them up a little bit so then it raises like the kind of tension of the whole thing.
Well, it's like they're like, oh, they're not just any pirates, they're Don Krieg pirates. Well, they're not just any cooks, they're fighting cooks.
So not only are they cooks and they have these big, skewer like pitchforks and stuff, they know how to fight.
Putting out the fire on those was actually pretty badass.
Yeah, that was badass. Even he can't do much these days, but he still has a few tricks up his sleeve. And I like Sanji. Like I like it's one thing I will say that I actually like is the whole kicking technique thing with Sanji and Zeff,
cool.
and the fact that Zeff, like, okay, it's a cliche for Zeff to be like standing there cross-armed while like, oh yes, my pupil, you go do whatever, and then he pulls off these crazy techniques, but it just like it really puts in your head like what Zeff must have been like back in the day if this kid who's like a spitting image of him and like a super badass is doing all these moves and Zeff is perfectly perfectly confident in his abilities. Yeah. So it's a cliche, but it's used well here, I guess is what I'm saying. I like it, and it fills in the backstory of Zeff and like his whole power scaling level thing if he had 2 feet without fully going into that, which they will. But
it's also
and they kind of have
like how Sanji, he's like getting ready to let Sanji leave or like send him off on his own. So this is kind
showing,
of like a test of like letting him handle it for himself. Because of, there's going to be way worse things in the Grand Line, which obviously Zeff knows about. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is also that, that's one thing about the relationship that I really like is usually it's like don't go to the elephant graveyard, my son. You own all these lands, but don't go to this one place. And in The Lion King, which is what I'm referencing, or normal hero's journey thing, it's like that's sort of a challenge for the development of the prince main character person, where they need to step outside of what they know to the unknown and get a taste of the outside world and then get humbled by it, and then they can re-enter it with like kind of a lesson learned. But in this, with Sanji and Zeff's relationship, it's kind of the opposite of that archetype, where Zeff, the king, the Mufasa over here, is like, literally go there, please. You are more than ready. I'm so excited for you to go out there and do that. I'm so happy for you. They have a kind of a nicer relationship like that. Like there's more of a trust there. And Sanji, again, it's like totally flipped with that convention of like the Simba Mufasa type thing, where Sanji he feels guilty to leave and he wants to stay and he wants to rule over this kingdom when there are there's better things to be had out there. Yeah. I like the sort of flip on that sort of convention as just from a storytelling perspective. But anyway, funny episode. I hope that everyone's okay with us making fun of it, because if you guys aren't okay with us making fun of the show, this is gonna be a really bumpy ride. And it sucked. Like, okay, I'm afraid because the reason why I'm afraid is because when we were watching Naruto, there was a bunch of times where like silly nonsense would happen. And with Naruto, everyone wanted us to take everything so seriously, where if we weren't crying over the 50th time that we've seen a flashback, or like whenever somebody does something ridiculous, or like a power that somebody thought was cool when they were 14, watching reactions when they're like 25 of people who are watching it for the first time, don't think that this terrible animation of this stupid power is like the most badass thing ever. you know, it was a lot of pressure, and it felt like we couldn't enjoy the show the way that we wanted. And I guess we're kind of holding on to that a little bit and bringing it into this. But I just want to say on top of that, like, we're bringing a lot of that baggage. That's why we're kind of like tiptoeing around things like this. We can make fun of things and still love them, and poke holes in things and still love them. In fact, it helps us like it more because it's funny. It's genuinely funny.
Some people do not like, just genuinely don't understand. It's like, if in something like this, you know, just based on us and our tastes, something like this and not not the show in general, but like something like this episode where, you know, a villain is introduced and they're kind of just silly, like everything about them is just kind of silly. To me, like, the way to enjoy that is to embrace how silly it is and laugh at it and have a good time.
Not to like feign that it's so cool. Not to like pretend
and like fake that we're oh my god, he's on fire, he's powering up, whoa, like that's just not real. And I do hope that people understand that it's for us, it's more enjoyable to watch something like this and like poke fun at it a little bit and laugh about it, rather than just say nothing and then move on.
Yeah.
And just like watch it completely blank and be like, that was fine, and move on. That's not as fun. And I feel like, you know, some people would prefer that because they feel like when we are
laughing and we're not in the right emotion,
that we're,
you know?
We're like ruining their immersion in our reaction,
yeah,
because it wasn't how they experienced the show. They didn't think that it was funny, or they really loved this villain, or, you know, I feel like people can get the wrong idea, but we're not laughing at it because it's bad. It's similar to like the dog episode. We haven't been reading comments, but we were more towards the start, or maybe it was Patreon comments that people were saying that the episode with the dog and the lion tamer dude, they're like, oh, this is not filler, this is like real. But we weren't calling it filler because we genuinely believed that it was filler. It's because this type of thing in a lot of shows, like this is the type of thing that you often find in filler. It doesn't
it's really, written like
it doesn't
a filler.
Influence the, like, you could just cut this guy out and then it would be the same, except
the only thing you need,
the
only thing you need to change is they just like, you know, shot a fireball at it, or like just lit the deck on fire.
And that doesn't mean that I want it taken out, because to me, I feel like, especially in this show, it kind of enhances the charm of it a little bit.
Yeah,
where like
fun.
In, you know, something like Naruto, sometimes it wasn't as fun because it was played in a way that, you know, did take itself a little bit more seriously. But to me, this doesn't seem like it doesn't even seem like the show is taking this that seriously.
This show is much more silly, clearly, than Naruto. But I think a big problem is that Naruto fans took the show more seriously than it was. I think that a lot of Naruto fans didn't find the charm in Naruto being like just a silly, scrappy little shithead, and like how big of a part of the story that was. They look forward to Naruto being like serious, badass, basically Minato, but just younger.
Not just a kid who like vandalizes the community.
Yeah,
you know?
It's like he's supposed to be dumb and silly, and then there's moments of sadness. So, you know, Naruto on the face of it isn't much more serious than this. It's pretty much the same, especially part 1. It's kind of more dark and edgy, but like from the moment to moment aspect, I know obviously I'm not saying One Piece is like lighthearted necessarily. I know it has like its serious moments obviously, but in terms of like the moment to moment, the action is much more like gag based and comedy based. Like that's Luffy's whole thing. Like Naruto's whole thing is to make clones of himself and fight himself early on. And he's like, "Oh, you idiot!" It's like, "No, you're an idiot," and like turn into a naked lady and stuff. Luffy is still like, you know, he's a Looney Tunes character in an anime. Like he literally is a rubber hose, like Mickey Mouse old school style shit. Anyway, what my point in saying that is, I think a big part of why we were so jaded with that was that it was just people took it more seriously and they didn't appreciate the funny parts of Naruto. And I just hope that you guys, the One Piece fans, are down for us like making fun of like stupid bullshit, because I feel like it's gonna happen a lot, and just know that like we're not here to like shit on the show. We're just here to have fun with it and not take everything so seriously. I hope that you know that we're like actually invested in like the show, but we're not gonna sit here and pretend that things are like super intense. Serious and intense when they're obviously just like filling the time with like an extra little conflict with a funny gag character to you know, flex Sanji's abilities and also just make us laugh with how dumb this guy is and how ridiculous this whole situation is.
And just because we think that this is like silly doesn't mean that like when something serious happens that we're gonna be uninvested because we were laughing at this dude like 20 episodes previous.
I just hope people are understanding. Yeah.
And I think also part of it is like, you know, also for like the first part of this, we do already know what's gonna happen in the long run. So it's like a lot of the stakes are removed for us. So it is more about just like hanging out and having fun and seeing what they did differently and what they added or what they removed. And you know, like that's part of the fun, especially in this first part where we know how it's gonna happen up until like all the Arlong stuff too.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's check out the next one. Are you checking the video?
Yeah. It's 3 out of 10.
Oh my god. We just uploaded the video on our main channel called HEHH. It's called Heh, and it's just Lindsay's face. We uploaded our Hereditary reaction today, and it's a 2-hour movie. We spent 2 hours watching it, half an hour discussing it. I edited it for like 3 hours, so it's a combined like 6-hour project. And it got like 3,000 views the whole day. This video already has 2.3K views. It was posted less than an hour ago.
Yeah, it's beating out every video except for the latest Jujutsu and like a huge episode of Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah. Why even put effort into YouTube? See, this is just, you know, develop a personality and then just do nothing. Just go in a 4-second video and upload that, and then you'll get more views.
Yeah, since you're on this channel, you won't have seen that video. You can go to our other channel if you want to witness that.
Oh, we're gonna get the backstory. Zeff and Sanji's dream.
He's not even pointing. He's like pointing it beside his head. Oh, he's not on fire anymore. Ow! I don't need my face to cook.
Yeah. Ah, shit!
He's getting actually really beat up. I love these shots of the flashback. I'm so excited.
He's always throwing away food. He's gonna be regretting that in a second.
Yeah.
He's gonna be thinking about all those leftovers that he just tossed in the trash.
Oh boy.
The more consistently we see different pirate ships with like things on the front of them makes me just more and more resolute in my in our theory. Or I guess it was your theory. Or was it my
I
theory?
thought it was yours.
My theory.
We'll have to check.
That Mary is a pirate.
Kids in the show are so funny.
Why?
They just always look funny.
Sanji's a
Sanji,
badass.
they're not even killing us. Oh,
Oh my god. Foreshadowing is a narrative device. I wonder if in this version he eats Zeff's leg instead of Zeff giving him all the food. Wouldn't that be crazy?
that'd be really messed up.
Like they just couldn't show a kid eating a fucking severed leg and oh my god! He got swept away.
Oh my
What?
god!
He just sacrificed a mast just to go get this kid?
It's not his mast.
Oh, I thought. Oh, for some reason I thought they were on their boat.
Well,
He just ditched his whole crew just for this kid. Oh my god. Oh, very different. With an anchor?
oh my god.
Very different.
It's just
Wow.
music.
Wow. That's crazy.
I don't know what to think about that. That is really crazy. I'm interested to see how the rest of this goes. If they have any food at all, or if they just starve there. Oh.
誰の蹴りを食らったと思ってるんだ。さあな、あれよだ。全滅でもおかしくね。打ち上げられたのは俺たちだけ。この岩山にな。海には魚くらいいるだろう。にえぐられて一度降りたら帰ってこれねえ。ネズミ返しだってやがる。投げてくるだろう。全部お前のせいだからだ。ぶっ殺してやる。道助けを待つしかねえんだ。来なければ光られて白骨になるだ。こいつ。俺が。
That's scary. And then they just sat there. That looks a lot more than 5 days worth of food.
No.
Oh boy. Very optimistic. Ooh. 25. This is when he starts thinking about it. All those beautiful, tasty ass meals that he's just been chucking in the trash. Oh my god.
You know how
man.
bad that would suck.
Better eat the bag, I guess.
Eat your hair or something. Dirt.
There's no dirt. It's a fucking rock.
Rocks. Like chickens eat rocks or something.
What did you just say? Oh my god. I bet he's really gristly.
It's crazy how destroyed they made them look.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Maybe it's a manga thing.
Yeah.
Maybe cannibalism like isn't, they aren't allowed to show that on or allude to that on Japanese TV. It was probably just a little bit too much and they had to like do that whole scene where he lost his leg.
船でも見えたか。
お前の食料を奪いに来たんだ。なら殺してみろよ。どうせこれ以上食えなきゃ死んじまうんだから。こんなにたくさんお前だけ。
船が見えるまで接触はなしだと。
全部宝だ。
Oh my god, his arm.
おかしな話だな。
いっぱい宝だ。なんだよこれ。どういうことだよ一体。お前今日まで何も食わなかったのかよ。おい、なんとか言え。その足。
Yeah, it seems like they must have added this in. It feels like they did, because the implication with that reveal was still there that he ate his leg, but at least maybe I'm crazy, but
じゃなかったのか。俺を助けるためにそう。クレオは俺にくれたのが全部だったのか。
そう
お前もう海賊やれねえじゃねえかよ。
だ、そうだな。
なんでだよ。余計なことすんなよ。お前なんかに優しくされる覚えはねえぞ。なんでだ。
お前が俺と同じ夢を持ってたからだ。
オルブルー。けどそんなもんないってお前の仲間も。
あるさ。気が来たらグランドラインを目指す。オールブルーはきっとあそこにある。海賊はやれねえが、今度はお前が一点見つければいい。
they look so messed up in this.
Yeah.
手で死ぬなよ。
この海の広さを呪って死んでたやつが一体どれくらいいるんだろう。今まで物が食えねえこういう危機は何のために思う。海のど真ん中にレストランでもあったらってよ。から生きて出られたら俺の最後の生きがいにレストランをぶった
でもこれ手伝うよ。だから死ぬな。
はあ、てめえみたいな貧弱な死
Huh!
だから死ぬな。助けてくれ。ジジイを人質を助けてくれ。
Is it a Navy ship? I can't tell. And I'll be damned if a fat pearl bastard like you is gonna do me in after all that.
ぐらいのことしねえとクソじじいに恩返しできねえんだよ。
Luffy's like, I already wanted you on my crew. I now even want you on my crew like 100 times more.
一時でも長くあの野郎死ぬ気かよ。クソガキが。これはまたいぶし銀なセリフだね。 だがもうこのレストランは店じまい。開幕戦に変わるのさ。
Oh my god. Oh, that was cool. It was on the board.
I
when
like that.
That was awesome. Damn.
That was a great episode.
Zeff and Sanji backstory. What do you think of the backstory in this?
I like it. I like everything except him eating the foot. I wonder if that was a manga thing or it was just overall just too much and then they added in the live action. Cause I like everything about this except that because I feel like that detail in the live action just like took it to the next level of like how desperate they were out there, you know?
I agree.
But I love like the portrayal of this, like most of the rest of it, how destroyed they were able to make them look, because obviously in live action, you know, there's only
you can't starve your actors. Yeah.
And there's only so far you can go unless you want to like completely make them out of CG and like waste your entire budget like doing that. But yeah, I really like this. Awesome. I loved it the first time. I love it now.
I saw, I think, a Patreon comment pointing out the similarities between Sanji and Luffy, how like both of their sort of mentor figures lose a limb to like save them. Kind of interesting there.
Yeah, that's cool.
But other than that, I don't really have much to add.
I agree.
And I like the thing of that he was thinking of that him wasting food.
Yeah, I
was
like
a thing.
that.
I like that. Well, it's not really an addition because this came before, but.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I liked that detail in this, definitely. And I hope Geen smartens up.
I know.
Bastard. But I guess we'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.